Hello everyone and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today wherever you are in this great world. We're gonna talk about XRP. And once again, this is the one-day chart. We're sitting here at $2.20. It was somewhat of a green day for XRP. But if you look at the 1 week, we are still going sideways. I want to see more upward movement. I want to see a decent close to the month of November. And look at Bitcoin, back above 90K. But Bitcoin doesn't look so good right now compared to XRP. I mean, XRP is in the green while Bitcoin is in the red. And I think we're going to see that throughout the rest of this run. Unless something big happens for Bitcoin. A lot of the money is still moving away from Bitcoin as well. And the Crypto Fear and Greed Index is now at 20. After 18 days of extreme fear, we are finally starting to come out of it. Let's hope that continues as well. I know a lot of people are very frustrated right now with what's going on with the market. Everybody just wants this market to explode already. Everybody wants to make money. I'm really hoping by the time we get to Christmas, XRP looks a lot different. This comes from Dark Defender. The XRP Bitcoin pair shows that XRP has gained significant strength against Bitcoin over the past year and will continue to do so. XRP was 60 cents when Bitcoin was at 92K last November. XRP is at $2.22 while Bitcoin is at 92K at the moment. The update says XRP will continue to dominate the entire crypto ecosystem. Like I just said, I expect it to continue. I can't wait until we decouple from Bitcoin. I would love to see how XRP looks running on its own without Bitcoin. I think it would be the greatest return on investment that we have ever seen. XRP exchange meltdown or reshuffle. Today's on-chain data shows one of the largest synchronized drops across all major XRP exchanges. Here's what just happened. Massive outflows across the board. Upbit, Binance, Bithumb, Uphold, eToro, Bybit, and BitBank. Nearly every major exchange saw 50% balance drop, suggesting large-scale user withdrawals, potential migration to self-custody, internal rebalancing or cold storage moves, or a major on-chain reshuffle event. And here's the numbers right here for XRP. One thing we know for sure is that XRP is starting to disappear on the exchanges. As that continues to happen, eventually we will push towards scarcity. All it takes is these ETFs to finally run out of over-the-counter XRP. Once they turn to the exchanges, that's going to be a major event for XRP holders. We're going to see the price change very quick when that happens. Expert on why ETFs alone can't send Ripple's XRP to $10 or $100 valuation. So they're just citing market cap and so on. And I don't believe in market cap when it comes to crypto. I believe in utility. I believe in supply and demand. I don't think we need to have Bitcoin hit $1 million for XRP to hit $100. I think people are overlooking the fact that we are about to see scarcity and demand at the same time. But these articles, they want you to always believe XRP will never even go above $10. They want you to think that XRP is never going to go above $5 based on previous cycles and market cap. But this time around, it looks a lot different. Plus, we are on the verge of institutional adoption for utility-driven cryptocurrencies. these institutions, they're not going to invest in hype and speculation. You got to remember, they answer to board members. When they underperform, they quickly want to shuffle that money around. That's why when they find real value, something that solves a real world problem, they're going to go all in on that cryptocurrency. This comes from Kenny. Approximately 14,247,704 XRP have been burned so far on the XRP ledger as of late November 2025. This is also one of the reasons why supply shock is coming soon. I never relied on burning XRP for us to see high price points, but you also got to factor this in. Now imagine if transactions really started to pick up a lot of momentum on the XRP ledger, well then more XRP would be burned. But if Ripple was to burn half the escrow, it would not really affect the price of XRP. We've seen that happen with Stellar and XLM. That's why I always said, Ripple is never going to burn that escrow. It doesn't even make sense to burn that escrow at this point, especially with companies creating treasuries around XRP. Burns still happening due to transactions, and ETF inflows swallowing up a lot of the supply. 21 shares confirmed its U.S. spot XRP ETF is approved by the SEC and is set to launch tomorrow on Monday. So you could expect more XRP to be swallowed up by this ETF. And a lot of people think 21 shares is going to outperform Franklin Templeton. Let's see what happens. Buy, and repeat. How the flywheel works. I see a lot of people talking about the flywheel effect also. So 1, ETFs buy, liquid supply decreases, price rises. 2, higher price, Evernorth plus corporates buy more. They don't want to miss out. 3, even less supply, price rises faster. 4, media hype, more ETFs approved, plus strategic reserve talks. 5, strategic reserve announcement, final explosion similar to Bitcoin 2021 after Tesla and MicroStrategy. Will we see that same effect on XRP? There's a very good chance that that happens. Right now, it's like we're in the calm before the real storm gets here. And it's going to start with all of that XRP being locked away. I mean, you talk to anyone about XRP right now, and the first thing they're talking about is scarcity now. We never seen that in the past for XRP. This is something new in the run of 2025. This comes from Reese Merrick, and he's telling you exactly what I've been saying this entire time. Stablecoins were born as a simple on-ramp to buy crypto. Fast forward to 2025. While a large portion is still used for this purpose, stablecoins are also being used for actual payments, and we're seeing this huge demand at Ripple. Look at the growth over the last 5 years in annual use. So you see 2020, 0.5 trillion in on-chain stablecoin transfers. 2021, 2.5. 2022, 5 trillion. 2023, 10 trillion. 2024, 27.6 trillion. 2025 year-to-date estimate heading to $46 trillion. And I always said, stablecoins are door openers for crypto. All of a sudden, you get the banks, you get everyone else used to using a stablecoin. Then you introduce the secret sauce. You tell them, stablecoins are great, but now if you want to utilize a cryptocurrency instead of a stablecoin, payments are even faster and cheaper using crypto. So it's like stablecoins were like the introductory to crypto later. That's the way I look at it. An Altseason is needed. If not, many investors will never come back to crypto again. Do you agree? That comes from Crypto Reviewing. I agree with that. I think a lot of people are very frustrated right now, and everybody's waiting for alt season to begin. But once it begins, it's going to renew a whole new look at crypto. All of a sudden, people are going to be making a lot of money in this space again. Everybody's going to be paying attention to that. They're not going to want to miss out on that. And that's why you're going to see a lot of FOMO. But this time around, it's not just retail FOMO. You're going to see institutional FOMO as well. But alt season is absolutely coming. We're going to witness it happen as XRP holders, as long as you don't sell too soon. And I posted this earlier today, and a lot of people disagreed with this diversification. Other people said it's the smart move. So diversification is key in crypto. Here's what my bag looks like right now. 25% XRP, XLM, XDC, QNT, Algo, IOTA, HBAR, Flare, and so on. And a lot of people said, what is the etc.? Well, I hold some Link, I hold some ACH, the Graph, a few others. I even have some meme coins from years ago. I honestly thought I sold all of my Link, and I ended up finding some in a wallet that I even forgot about. But the reason I diversified is when I got into crypto, nobody knew what was going to happen next. You got to remember, the SEC versus Ripple case didn't even begin yet when I was getting into crypto. And I always thought, well, XRP is not going to move all the money. So if I want to be invested in what's going to move all the money, I might as well invest in ISO cryptocurrencies, utility-driven cryptocurrencies. Now, along the way, there was other cryptocurrencies that I seen value in. I even have some AI cryptocurrencies as well. But I always thought, this way I have a well-rounded bag. It's a utility-driven bag. How am I going to not make money off of this over time? I even sold 2 Bitcoin back in 2021, and all of that money ended up in utility after 2021. But I just seen value in these cryptocurrencies, and after doing all the research on them over time, there was no way I would not hold IOTA. Flare, it's just emerging now as a massive monster. I think it's going to be huge in the near future. QNT, I wish I would have bought earlier, but at least I ended up buying along the way. XDC, I still buy it because I think it's very undervalued. It's going to handle all that digital trade money. XLM, person-to-person money. XRP, bank-to-bank money. IOTA, Industry 4.0. Smart cities, and so on. That's why I diversified along the way. And some people said, I would never diversify. Go all in on XRP. Well, when you're already diversified, you're not going to be moving crypto around, selling it off just to buy more XRP. I figure it like this. Some of these cryptocurrencies, they might not go to the price points that I want them to go to in this run, but I think if I hold them long enough, they will all end up being financial freedom cryptocurrencies. That's the way I look at it. But like I said at the beginning of this video, right now we're sitting at $2.20. I want to see how we close out the month. I would like to see a decent move up ending the month of November. Right now, everybody's already looking at December. I keep seeing people saying this is going to be the biggest month we've ever seen in crypto. But they said that about September, October, and November. And so far, it's just been delay after delay. Every time the market looks great, right away something brings it back down. I think there's a lot of market manipulation going on with Bitcoin right now as well. But I think what's really happening with Bitcoin, the OG holders are selling off and the institutions are buying up that Bitcoin. And I think there's enough institutions to continue buying it to start sending it upward. But I think a lot of the institutions are looking past Bitcoin now as well. We got to see what happens from here. I'm just hoping we see scarcity for XRP in the short term. That could really get things moving. Maybe XRP ends up being the leader, leading us into Altseason. But until it happens, stay patient, stay positive, and let's get rich together. With that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.